So, long lost pictures found. So in 1997, my buddy, I owned this '69 Chevelle. It started with my buddy from work told me that every day on the way to work, he drove by this old farmhouse, and behind the barn was a '69 Chevelle with a bunch of weeds growing around it. And I said, "Let me stop you right there. Why are you just now telling me? And why don't we have it at your shop?" And he said, "Well, I am telling you, son." He said, "I already got it from the gal. I gave her $100. She was glad to have it, and I've already got it at my shop." So he and I restored it, and eventually he didn't want anything to do with it anymore. So I bought him out, and I had $1,500 into it, and we had it painted. Everything in it worked. I put all new interior carpet in it. It looked nice. It drove nice. You could use it as a daily. Everything about it worked. But when I say restored, I just mean, everything. It wasn't an off-the-frame restore. At this time, the car was only, I say only, but it was, 27 years old. So, but I eventually put it for sale in the trader. I listed it for $3,500. I had $1,500 into it. And it took a little while for my phone to ring. This was December of 1998. And but anyway, this cat finally called me and said that he was 2 hours away and wanted to know if I'd hold it for him to look at. And I'm like, sure. He was actually the first person to call about it. But I thought that was weird. And I'm just like, so you're going to drive 2 hours to look at a '69 Chevelle? There isn't one in your area that's available a little closer? So anyway, he ended up driving down and taking a look at it and bought it. But anyway, I've made mention of this car and several others that I've owned over the years. I've just been a hobbyist since, I guess, technically the late '80s. But anyway, these pictures have been gone, and I accidentally threw them away years ago, is the short of it. And my wife said, well, I knew better than to trust you with the originals. So I've got the originals downstairs. So we looked and looked and looked. This was years ago, and we never did find the originals. So I wrote it off as, well, I had a couple pictures of this, and my wife wanted to take the pictures, and I was like, well, that's weird. I mean, if you can find the camera back in 1998, she's like, yeah, before you sell it, you and your buddy worked so hard for it. Let's let me take a couple pictures of it. And I said, if you can find the camera and you want to waste the film, go ahead. But years later, I realized those pictures became very important to me. And anyway, so the pictures were long gone. I splatter ass here over here, threw them away, and that was it. And anyway, so she should have known better to trust me with even the copies. So this is everybody else's fault but mine. But no. So anyway, last night I was playing chess live on the internet, and all of a sudden my wife was in the basement. This is what she said exactly. I just hear her yelling, "Get your fucking ass down here right now!" So
I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay.
Went down there, and she had found the originals. So yeah, I wish there was more I could show you about the interior and all that, but I'm grateful for what I do have, and it was only because she had the foresight to take those pictures. And it's I wish now people go to a restaurant and they're like a CSI, they're taking 5-6 photos of everything and labeling it. And but back then, ready access cameras weren't available. I'm sure they were invented by then, but the average person, me, didn't have one. I mean, it was still just film and old style camera stuff. So but anyway, yeah, so I'm super excited. My wife found these, and so just trying to share it with the audience, and hope you enjoyed seeing the photos. And if you've got some story about one of your old cars, or maybe a recent car or something, write it below. I'd love to read it. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.